The studio lights glowed a little brighter than usual as Jelly Roll took his seat at the long table, the applause washing over him in a warm, almost protective wave. He nodded to the audience with a grateful smile, pressing his palms together briefly as if grounding himself. He looked comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time, comfortable in front of people, uncomfortable in spaces that felt polished and distant from the life he often spoke about. Across from him, Joy Behar adjusted her notes, her expression pleasant but alert, the look of someone who had done this long enough to sense when a conversation might veer off script. The interview opened with stories everyone expected. Jelly Roll talked about his past, about addiction, jail cells, and the moments that nearly broke him. His voice was steady, but the weight behind it was unmistakable. He spoke about music as salvation, about responsibility, about trying to be better than the man he used to be. The audience listened quietly, some nodding, some wiping at their eyes. Joy nodded too, offering brief affirmations, even smiling as she acknowledged how powerful his journey was. "It takes courage to be that honest," she said. Jelly Roll shrugged slightly. "It takes exhaustion," he replied. "I got tired of pretending." The audience chuckled softly. For a moment, the mood felt genuine, almost intimate. This was the kind of segment that made daytime television feel human. Then Joy shifted in her chair. "You've also said," she continued, "that the entertainment industry and the media don't understand people like you, or your fans. Don't you think that kind of rhetoric just deepens divisions?" Jelly Roll inhaled slowly, his smile fading just a touch. "I don't think it's rhetoric," he said carefully. "I think it's lived experience. A lot of folks feel talked about, not talked to." Joy tilted her head, or maybe they're just hearing things they don't want to hear. A faint murmur rippled through the audience. Jelly Roll met her gaze, calm but firm. "There's a difference between hard truth and contempt," he said. "People can feel the difference." Joy's smile tightened. "So you're saying media figures look down on everyday people?" "I'm saying some do," Jelly Roll replied. "And they don't always realize how it comes across." Joy leaned back slightly, crossing one leg over the other. "That sounds like a victim narrative." The words landed heavier than she seemed to expect. Jelly Roll straightened in his chair, his shoulders squaring. "I've been a victim of my own bad choices," he said evenly. "I'm not confused about accountability." The audience went quiet. Joy blinked, then laughed lightly. "Nobody's questioning your personal growth. But you're questioning people's motives," Jelly Roll said. "That matters." Joy gestured with her hand. "We criticize systems, not individuals." "Except when individuals feel targeted by those systems," Jelly Roll replied. "Then it doesn't feel so abstract." Joy's tone sharpened. "So now the media is the enemy?" Jelly Roll shook his head. "No, but it's not automatically the hero either." The tension in the room became palpable. Even the other hosts shifted slightly in their seats, sensing the shift. Joy leaned forward now, her voice more pointed. "Do you really think shows like this are out of touch?" "I think any platform can become out of touch," Jelly Roll said. "Especially when it forgets to listen." Joy raised her eyebrows. "We listen plenty." "Then listen to this," Jelly Roll replied, his voice still controlled but heavier now. "People are tired of being told who they are by people who've never lived their lives." A mix of applause and nervous laughter spread through the audience. Joy's expression hardened. "That's a broad accusation. It's a broad frustration," Jelly Roll said. "And it's real." Joy sighed audibly. "This is starting to sound like resentment." Jelly Roll shook his head. "It's disappointment." The word hung in the air. Joy opened her mouth to respond, then paused. "Disappointment in what?" "In being dismissed," Jelly Roll said. "In being reduced to stereotypes. In being told they're ignorant instead of unheard." Joy's voice rose slightly. "No one here is calling anyone ignorant." "Not directly," Jelly Roll replied. "But tone speaks louder than words." The audience reacted again, louder this time. Joy glanced toward them, then back to Jelly Roll. "This isn't a rally." "I know," Jelly Roll said. "That's why I'm choosing my words carefully." Joy tapped her notes with her pen. "You're painting this show as elitist." "I'm saying it risks sounding that way," Jelly Roll replied. "There's a difference." Joy shook her head. "You came here knowing what this show stands for." "And I came here ready to be honest," Jelly Roll said. "That's what my fans expect from me." Joy leaned forward, her patience thinning. "Honesty doesn't mean attacking the platform you're standing on. And comfort doesn't mean avoiding hard conversations," Jelly Roll shot back, still calm but no longer soft. A hush fell over the studio. The easy rhythm of the interview was gone, replaced by something sharper, more personal. Joy stared at Jelly Roll, her jaw set, clearly reassessing him. Joy Behar crossed her arms, the movement small but unmistakably defensive. Accountability doesn't end with feelings, she said. It also means accepting criticism when it comes your way. Jelly Roll nodded slowly. I agree, he replied. But criticism without empathy turns into judgment. And judgment shuts people down. Joy's eyes narrowed. So now anyone who challenges you lacks empathy? No, Jelly Roll said. Anyone who dismisses entire communities should pause and listen. The audience reacted instantly, applause rising in uneven waves, mixed with nervous laughter. Joy shook her head, a sharp smile tugging at her lips. This isn't a concert, she said. This is a conversation, and I'm having one, Jelly Roll answered. I just don't know how to fake it. Joy leaned forward, palms pressed to the table. You're accusing this show of being out of touch. I'm saying it can be, Jelly Roll replied. Just like anyone with a microphone in a studio audience. That's insulting, Joy snapped. It's honest, Jelly Roll said, his voice still calm, still grounded. And honesty doesn't mean disrespect. Joy laughed incredulously. You come on our show and tell us we don't understand people. I'm telling you what people tell me, Jelly Roll said. Every night, in every city, folks who don't see themselves reflected here. Joy's tone sharpened further. We fight for people every day. Then stop assuming you know their lives better than they do, Jelly Roll replied. The words hit hard. Gasps echoed across the studio, followed by a burst of applause that surprised even Jelly Roll. He glanced briefly toward the audience, then back to Joy, as if to say this wasn't what he wanted, but it was what was happening. Whoopi Goldberg shifted in her chair, lifting a hand slightly. All right, Joy cut her off. No, she said, I want to address this. Jelly Roll remained seated, hands resting on his knees, posture steady. I'm not here to fight, he said. I'm here to be real. Joy scoffed. Real doesn't mean you get to lecture us. I'm not lecturing, Jelly Roll said quietly. I'm testifying. The room fell silent. Even the audience seemed unsure how to react. Joy stared at him, clearly taken aback by the phrasing. Testifying to what? She asked. To what it feels like. To be talked about like a problem, Jelly Roll said. To be reduced to a headline. To be told your pain is politics. Joy's jaw tightened. You're turning this into something it's not. Maybe it already was, Jelly Roll replied. The tension snapped. Joy threw up her hands. This is going nowhere. Whoopi finally leaned forward, her voice firm. All right, we're stopping this. A producer appeared at the edge of the set, signaling urgently. The cameras tightened, catching every flicker of expression. Jelly Roll looked at Whoopi, then at Joy, then nodded once, as if accepting a verdict he'd already anticipated. He reached up and unclipped his microphone slowly, deliberately, the soft click echoing louder than expected. If honesty isn't welcome, he said, standing now, I'll see myself out. Joy said nothing. She stared straight ahead, lips pressed thin, arms still crossed. The audience erupted, some applauding loudly, others sitting stunned in silence. Jelly Roll didn't play to them. He didn't wave or bow. He simply nodded once more and turned toward the exit. As he walked off the set, the cameras followed for a beat too long before cutting back to the table. Whoopi exhaled and forced a composed smile. We'll be right back, she said, her voice steady but strained. The screen faded to commercial, but the studio buzzed with energy. Audience members whispered, replaying the exchange in hushed tones. Crew members hurried across the floor, producers speaking urgently into headsets. The moment had slipped beyond control. Backstage, Jelly Roll moved down the corridor at an unhurried pace. A staff member approached, asking if he was okay, if he wanted water. He smiled faintly and shook his head. I'm good, he said. I said what I needed to say. Inside the studio, Joy remained seated, staring at the table as if the words were still written there. When the show returned from break, the atmosphere had changed completely. The warmth was gone, replaced by careful restraint. Whoopi addressed the audience briefly, acknowledging that conversations can become heated and reaffirming the show's commitment to dialogue. But something had already shifted. Viewers at home flooded social media within minutes. Clips spread rapidly, Jelly Roll's calm voice, Joy's sharp retorts, the moment the microphone came off. Some praised him for speaking plainly. Others criticized him for challenging the platform. The debate ignited instantly.